If we believe that there is a God who in Jesus has revealed new creation, then new creation has already begun and we are invited to be part of it. And part of the Christian belief is that we're not simply whistling in the dark, we're not simply pushing back the dark, we are actually tremblingly, vulnerably, often getting it wrongly, being people of new creation here and now, which means people of healing, people of forgiveness, people of hope. There's all sorts of commonality between a Christian vision of what we ought to be doing in the world and all sorts of other visions, because actually it's not rocket science to say, wouldn't it be good if we brought health, if we brought education, if we brought wisdom, if we brought alleviation of poverty, etc. The worrying thing is that just as Christians have often tried and failed to do the sort of good things I'm talking about, so secularists have often tried and failed. Some of the great experiments, social experiments of the 20th century were undertaken by people who said, let's get rid of all that religion stuff, let's get rid of all that Christianity stuff, we will build utopia here and now. And it just was horrible and disastrous. And you can come back and say, as people do, well, some of the Christian experiments have been pretty disastrous too. Nevertheless, as has been said again and again, in the ancient world, which was a very brutal place, nobody else was looking after the poor. The Jews looked after their own poor. The Christians actually were known as the people who looked after the poor. Nobody else was trying to do education for people except for the rich or the elite. Nobody else was trying to do medicine. Hospitals, schools, etc. became universal through the Christian. This is an oversimplification, but not that much of an oversimplification.
Buddhists gave to the poor. Buddhists
yes.
set up hospitals.
Well, yes, but if you track back and see, and this is a whole other argument, but what I'm saying is the Christian belief is that new creation has begun in Jesus, that the power of evil has been defeated by what happened on Jesus' cross. That obviously is a whole other topic. And that therefore there is hope, not only for the ultimate future, but for the penultimate future. And yes, of course it makes a difference. But the difference it makes is not, we don't have to worry about the present because there's a future. The difference it makes is, because there's a future, there is hope that we can actually do something in the present. So I would just want people to take away serious reflection on what actually happened in and through Jesus, and if that did happen, what that would mean for the reality of new creation here and now.